Greetings of the day, dear students. I am Assistant Professor Anurag Pandey, Head of the Department, Kalyan PG College, Sector 7, Bhilai. The poetry which we are going to evaluate today is going to serve the needs of the students of BA Part 2, Paper 2, Unit 3, Modern English Literature. And the title of the poetry is Sea Escape by W.H. Auden. Waston Hugh Auden was a British American poet. He grew up in a professional middle class family. At the age of 23 in 1930, he won the public attention with his first book, Poems, and that was followed by The Orators in 1932. He won the Pulitzer Prize for Poetry for his long poem, The Age of Anxiety, which became a popular phrase describing the modern era. Much of his poetry is concerned with moral issues and shows a strong political, social, and psychological context. The teaching of Marx and Freud had a strong impact on his early works. The latter gave way to religious and spiritual influences. Auden's interest in science and engineering gave him a scholarship to Oxford University, but his love for poetry led him to change his branch of study to literature. The attraction of science remained with him, and we find scientific references frequently in his poetry. At Oxford, Auden found interest in the modernist poetry of T.S. Eliot. We know T.S. Eliot by his very famous work, The Wasteland. And later he became an important member of a group of writers called the Oxford Group or the Auden Generation, which included Stephen Spender, G. de Levis, and Louis MacNice. This group addressed social, political, and economical concern as left-wingers. Throughout his career, he was a controversial but an influential poet. T.S. Eliot and W.H. Auden were well aware of the post-war hollowness, the circumstances which appeared after the World War I and II. Auden's early writings show a trust on Marxism and in the need of violent revolution for a better social order. However, he tried to escape from this image later on, and he shifted to humanism from Marxism, and his later poems have an objective observation on nature and its landscape. Now, the poetry comprises of 3 stanzas. We will be dealing with line by line. First, we are picking the first stanza. Just hold on. Just a minute. So the first stanza goes like this. Look, stranger, at the island now. The leaping light for your delight discovers. Stand stable here and silent be, that through the channels of the air may wander like a river the swaying sound of the sea. So coming back on the first line, look, stranger, at the island now. The pronunciation of I-S-L-A-N-D should be island, not Iceland. The leaping light for your delight discovers. The second line. So the leaping light. What does it mean by leaping light? Leaping light means the light of sun on waves seems coming up. The reflection of sun which comes on the waves, it keeps jumping, it keeps coming up. That is why he has used the leaping light. Stand stable here. What do you mean by? He is asking himself to be stand stable and silent. And silent be. Stand stable here and silent be. That through the channels of the ear. Channel means the passage through the ear. may wander like a river. Wander means to move without any particular purpose. May wander like a river, the swaying sound of the sea. Swaying sound means to and fro. Swaying means to and fro. So, leaping light means you understood. Stable means unmoving. Channels of the ear means the passage through the ear. And wander means to walk somewhere slowly without no particular sense or purpose. And swaying means to and fro. So this is the description of the first stanza. Now we are entering in the second stanza. Second stanza goes like this. Here at the small field's ending pause, where the chalk walls fall to the foam and its tall ledges, oppose the pluck and knock of the tide, and the shingle scrambles after the sucking surf, and the gull lodges a moment on its sheer side. Now the first line, here at the small field's ending pause. He is standing at the end of a field from where he cannot move further. That is why he has used here at the small field's ending pause. Now the next line, where the chalk walls. Chalk wall means we have mentioned that it is a description of Dover cliffs, tall mountains of chalk, that is not chalk walls, fall to the foam. In the very next line only, the second line only, falls to the foam. Falls to the foam is the sea waves at the bottom of these chalk mountains creates foam. That is why he has used fall to the foam. And it's tall ledges. Ledges means a narrow piece of rock that sticks out on the side of a cliff or mountain. That is known as tall ledges. So the second line goes like this, where the chalk walls fall to the foam and its tall ledges oppose the pluck and the knock of the tide. Oppose the pluck means they oppose the courage of the mighty waves. Who is opposing? The chalk walls and its tall ledges is opposing the mighty waves. Apart from that, they are opposing the knock of the tide. What do you mean by tide? Tide and ebb means the regular rise and fall in the regular rise and fall in the level of sea because of moon and the sun. So the knock of the tide and the mighty waves are being opposed by chalk walls and tall ledges. And the shingles, now the next line, and the shingles scrambles after the sucking surf. Shingle means kind of small piece of rocks which remains very shiny, that shingles. Scrambles mean a kind of when we try to catch something, when we try to hold something quickly, that is scrambles after the sucking surf. When waves come in towards the seashore, then while going back, it seems that the complete sand is sucking the waves, sucking the waters. So shingle scrambles, these small pebbles, these small stones, they try to catch the waves, they try to hold the waves, but all the waves, all the water is being sucked by the sand only. And the gull lodges a moment on its sheer side. Gull means a white seabird. Lodges means to rest for a moment. A moment on its sheer side. Sheer side means steep portion of a wall where you cannot hold for long. So this gull, this white seabird, rests for a moment on these side, and again the waves go back. Now we are entering in the third stanza. The third stanza goes like this. Far off like floating seeds the ships diverge on urgent voluntary errands, and the full view indeed may enter and move in memory as now these clouds do, that pass the harbor mirror and all the summer through the water saunter. Now, far off like floating seed the ships, the first line of the third stanza. Floating seeds the ship means when you see the giant big ships from very far, it appears like a seeds floating on some water only. That is why he has used floating seeds, the ships. The ships are appearing like a small, tiny seeds. Diverge. Diverge means to go in different directions. Diverge on urgent voluntary errands. Errands means a short journey to take or get something. So these ships, these giant ships, which are appearing like tiny seeds, they are going somewhere on their urgent needs, voluntary urgent needs. And the full view indeed may enter and move in memory as now these clouds do. As clouds move in the sky, these beauty will move in your memory forever. So this is why they have used these clouds do, and move in memory as now these clouds do. That pass the harbor mirror. Harbor means that place where we ships can be tied on the coast, where we keep our ships. That pass the harbor mirror and all the summer through the water saunter. And harbor has been mentioned as a mirror. Why it is appearing like a mirror? The complete entire sun's rays, when it is floating, when it is floating on the surface of the sea, it appears like a mirror. All the summer through the water saunter. There is again a word like saunter. Saunter means to walk without hurrying. So complete summer you can appreciate the beauty of these seascape. So this is the end of the third stanza. Now we will see the technical beauty of this poetry also. So Auden was thrilled by the aspects of nature and strikes us from his brilliant lyric. The repetition of L sound means from the very first stanza, if you'll see, leaping, light, delight. And the S sound, swaying, sound C, marks the poem musical as well as tender. So I think the poetry is quite clear, and I will try to upload the poetry also. Most of the students might be having this poetry, and I will share a pic also of the Dover clips. This will make you understand the entire beauty of this poetry very easily. Thank you. See you again.